and welcome to What's the Script, the podcast where we try and guess the plots of films we've never seen. My name is Don Stephen Buchanan.
And I'm Stuart McPherson, cocksucker.
Hey,
How you
how's it
doing?
going? Did you like that voice?
Loved it, man. That was good.
I no longer have my voiceover agent. So
Really?
Nah.
That'd be such a great end to the series.
Imagine I got
A running
sacked.
storyline. That's funny. Because of this.
Because
they
of
wanted
this.
clean clips from this.
And then they said,
And
actually,
you kept fucking it so often.
this guy is unprofessional,
He's a
can't
loose
do
cannon.
voices.
Can't do voices. Save his life, this
Have
guy.
you heard his witch's voice? Ugh. Horrible.
What have you been up to, man?
Just plugging away with the old voices.
Just sitting at home trying to do voices.
Still waiting on my first job.
Yeah.
Not been hired yet. It's going to come. It's going to come.
I believe in you.
I've got high hopes for
I believe in you,
the
Steve.
Godfather Part 4, if it ever comes. Nice wee shake of the hand there for the listeners. That's going to happen quite a
little
lot.
call forward. Forward. Little call forward. A little
To
like
part
the...
2?
And yeah.
Of
to part 2.
Part 2 of Part 2.
Yes. I'm very confused as well now. I wish I hadn't started the forward thing. But in the movie, spoiler alert, there's a lot of calling forward and back. So that's a nice little nod to the movie.
Beautiful.
Lovely
Yeah.
when that kind of thing happens. It's a nice little exercise, isn't it?
It's weird that in these intros, we are now older than what we were in Part 1.
And wiser.
And wiser. Yeah. I thought you said, and why is that? And you threw me.
Why is that, Stephen? Why would you say that was?
Just how the time works.
Yeah. Well, you're right.
Yeah.
And that's because you're so wise.
And that's like us going back and forth. A couple of entertainers going back and forth.
We need to do more about this jazz hands thing that we've started recently.
The listeners won't know. We do a lot of jazz hands throughout recording.
Sounds like a bit, but it's not.
It's not a bit. We're genuinely doing
We always
jazz
like to
hands.
emphasise that we're doing loads of stuff.
You guys, if
use
you're
our
still
hands.
listening, get on YouTube.
Yeah, you're
man.
getting like 10% of the experience.
You're missing out a lot.
We're having such a laugh, aren't we, Steve?
This is such a laugh. And it makes me sad because it's the final episode.
I know, of the series. How many episodes have we done video? Is that 10?
10.
10.
10 videos. The perfect 10, in my
could say.
opinion. There was a wise filmmaker, I don't know if you've ever heard of him, called Quentin Tarantino.
No, what's his deal?
He said that he wants to make 10 films and only 10 because that's the perfect
Has he
number.
started yet? Has he made any films?
He's coming. He's quite an up-and-coming guy,
Okay,
but
cool.
you'll hear of him
All
soon.
right.
You'll
Well, I
hear
look
of
forward to that. I hope he puts lots of feet in his movies.
him. You'll be surprised.
Will I be in luck?
You'll be in luck.
Brilliant.
So in many ways, I think our episodes, our podcast episodes,
The
are
perfect
like
10.
Quentin Tarantino's.
She's the perfect 10, but she wears a 12.
Exactly.
Maybe keep a little 2 for us.
Beautiful song. I love that song.
A Beautiful South.
Is that who sings it?
Yeah,
Is it?
I think so.
Me gonna lie in
This is one of our most
different
improv
sizes.
jazz intros. We're
Yeah.
just free associating.
Exactly, yeah. This is chaotic.
Very chaotic. I don't know how it will be as a listen, but I'm enjoying myself.
I'm enjoying it. I wish this was the whole episode.
I wish this was episode 1 of a new series.
Sadly, it's not.
Yeah, we're a bit busy, aren't we, Steve? We've
Very
got
busy.
Stuff on.
But we'll be back in the future, don't worry. Hopefully. I think we will.
In case we're euthanized.
That's calling forward again. But no, this is the last episode of the series, and I've had a lot of fun, Stu.
Me too, man.
Let's
it's been an
shake
absolute
hands.
pleasure.
And what film is seeing us out then?
Well, we thought we'd go big and go home,
Of course.
of course.
Do both.
You can do
Why
both.
not?
Mutually exclusive.
Why not?
With one of the greatest films of all time, according to
Arguably.
everyone,
Yeah.
The Godfather Part 2.
Will it be according to us? Find
Stay
out.
tuned to find out.
Stu,
Stephen,
The Godfather Part 2.
the squeakful.
The Squeakful. What do you know about this film?
I know it's the sequel to The Godfather. We've seen The Godfather,
Mm.
famously. It was a decent 3-star film.
Sequel to Godfather Part 1, fair to say prequel to Godfather Part 3.
I think that's fair to say. I would imagine so.
Is it?
I don't know. Maybe it's not.
Jennings,
Maybe
producer Mark knows.
I can confirm that part 2 is a prequel
Between
to
1
part
and 3.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Well,
Good.
there
Just
we
keeping
go.
us honest.
There we go.
A lot of people, well, it's held up as a great sequel. Often sequels are disappointing, but this one is revered. Some people prefer it to the first one.
Cited as one of the
exceptions that proves the rule.
yes, one of the rare examples of a prequel being better than the original.
Do you want to give us some,
Sequel.
like Lost in New York?
Lost in New York. Home Alone 2, obviously.
That's quite cool. Toy Story 2 was pretty good.
I think, yeah, I would say that.
That kind of thing.
I'm going on record to say Toy Story 2 better than Toy Story 1.
Certainly an argument to be made.
Monsters University.
I would draw the line there.
I've never seen Monsters University, so I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, that's all I know. What about you?
Terminator 2, we've watched this already.
Yeah, that's the only other sequel we've done, right?
Yeah.
It was good. Better than the first, I think.
Don't know, was it?
I think so.
There's a lot more mad shit happening
the
with
liquid guy
with the liquid
that was class.
Yeah,
finger.
Think
through
he'll
the-
be in this.
People do consider it better than the
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think Terminator 2 was better.
Yeah,
What do you know about The Godfather Part 2?
exact same as you.
Thought so.
Honestly can't remember what happened in The Godfather Part 1.
Me neither. Here's what I remember. Horse's Head.
That was in it, because I got a point for that.
Gun in a toilet.
That's right. Cistern.
Yep, that's about it.
The Cistern Chapel.
And that's all I remember about The Godfather.
Also,
I think a car blew up at one point.
yep, and his wife that
They were in Italy for a bit.
They were in Italy cutting about the wife died. I remember big Marlon Brando with his stupid orange in his mouth going
Yeah, doing bits with his
doing
grandson.
bits, great bits.
Yeah.
Died in a
It
field.
was like a wedding or something.
That was great. Remember that. And I think it ended.
He's come in The Godfather pretty accurately, but in the
With
fucking
no detail.
wee parts. Well, I think
I reread
so
the plot.
did you?
Aye.
Oh, so you genuinely know it? I don't. I can't.
I reread
remember.
it and it's just like a bunch of folk get pissed off and die
Yeah.
in a succession of events.
So what was it? Who was the rat again? His brother?
Oh, I don't fuck if I know.
Was his brother the rat?
Well, I remember, so in when we did The Godfather, when I was saying what I know about The Godfather, one of the things I know about The Godfather was from Still Game, when Winston goes, I knew it was you, Fredo, bang boom, deed shite.
Fredo, that was it.
But I don't know if that actually happened in the first one. So I've put that in again for this. I can't
Fuck,
remember.
you dirty bitch.
So I feel like I guessed that first time round and it wasn't right. So I'm just going to stick with that until it happens.
Oh God.
But, I mean, I did reread the plot of Wikipedia on the train, but I wouldn't be surprised if that was in part 1 and I've completely forgotten.
Yeah, you might be right. At the end of this, I remember the wife kind of greeting, and he's sitting in his wee office, and he's like, and I think it's kind of a hint to
He's the
him
new
changing.
Godfather.
Yeah,
And he's,
because originally he was this sort of war hero or something, was he? And he was like, wasn't in the family business, and then he's been dragged into
he's kind of
murky
done the Walter
underworld.
White routine.
the old Walter White routine. Precisely. Precisely. He
So-
broke bad.
He broke bad. I think that's fair to say. So yeah, I mean that's all I've got.
Based on the poster,
It's a
not
cunt
much
in
to
a chair.
go on. As a guy in a chair with his wee, a kind of chair that looks like this.
Looks exactly like that. He just needs me imposed next to him, and that's this podcast.
He looks like he's doing a podcast guessing the plots of films he's never seen. Big Al Pacino.
Yeah.
Is that Pacino? Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm gonna make him an offer he can't refuse. That's not him that says that. Will we do the will we do the numbers?
Yeah, let's do numbers. Yeah.
1980.
I've got 1976. First one was, I think, 1972.
Yeah, shit.
You think they waited 8 years?
Fuck this already.
2 presidential terms.
Oh, God.
Rotten
Reagan
Tomatoes.
could have been in twice.
Rotten Tomatoes.
99%.
I've got 98. The first film, I think, got something like 97 or 96.
And it's meant to be better.
Well, yeah, so I'm hoping it's 1 or 2 better.
Mm.
Runtime,
2 hours 40 minutes.
2 hours 55.
That was the same as last time, I'm sure.
Was it? I knew it was fucking long anyway. Certificate, I've got 18.
Same.
Surely.
Always an 18.
In these kind of things. Yeah, for sure. For actors and characters, we're not getting any points for folk who are in Godfather 1, surely.
Well, if we're
So
playing
if we're
the
doing
game
that, I'm
of
just copy and pasting everyone.
well, if we're playing the game of can we remember the people in the first one without looking at your original document?
Okay then. Well, I'm happy with this because you told me you couldn't even remember who was in it. So I think I'll get more than you.
Vito, Sonny, Donovan, Tony.
Vito died though.
Who?
Vito, didn't he?
Oh, is that Vito Corleone?
Yeah.
Also, Sonny died in the first one.
Yeah.
Did
Yeah.
Fuck. I was Sonny James Caan.
Yes.
Yeah, I hope he's not a big part of your plot.
I've put James Caan in it.
Maybe it's like, maybe he comes back to play a different character though.
Well, I'm thinking, don't spoil it, Mark, but I'm thinking that there might be flashbacks in this. So I have put in Marlon Brando brackets flashback.
That's a good shout. I never thought of that. I've just put a bunch of new folk in there.
Okay. I'll finish the rest of my list. Donovan, Tony, Jimmy, Antonio, Marie, Barbara, delivery driver, policeman.
There's loads.
Yeah.
And
sorry.
actors you've just done at the same time, or are you doing them after?
I'll do them after.
Okay,
Still,
cool.
come on.
I'm going out of order here, but whatever. Character names, just these. I've not looked at anything. These could have been people in the first one. I'm not trying to remember them. I've just written some Italian fucking names, basically.
Sure. That's what a guy who has looked at it would say.
No, because I won't get points if they were in the first one, so that's a fucking fool's errand.
I would never know.
Listen, neither of us fucking know. Johnny, Frankie, Carlo, Marie, Mario, Luca, policeman, bartender, drug dealer.
Got a
Simple
few
as that.
bit of crossover there. Actors?
Actors, well, I'm pretty sure all these people aren't in it because I googled Italian American actors and then I went on Wikipedia.
It's a snake move. You always do that.
No, but I went on Wikipedia and I clicked, there's like little, like, so it's like of the whatever years. So it's like ones that were born in like the 1930s.
Yeah.
But in their little synopsis, it would say like X famous for playing someone in The Godfather. So obviously I wasn't taking those ones because that would be cheating.
Oh.
So I've only chosen people who I know aren't in The Godfather. Basically, I'm hoping they had enough of another career that The Godfather is just a minor footnote.
Which, that would be some career.
Yeah, I know. Joe Pesci, Danny Aiello, Alan Alda, Dustin Hoffman, Max von Sydow, my old friend, Liza Minnelli, Cher, Liv Ullmann, Faye Dunaway.
Liza Minnelli?
Yeah.
And The Godfather?
Yeah.
I think this is
Couple
a
of
musical.
numbers.
It's The Godfather, The Godfather. That's...
Yeah, I mean,
that'd be good.
I really don't think any of those people will be in it.
Liza Minnelli, man.
Be good if she was, wouldn't it?
I don't even know who that is really.
She's in Arrested Development.
Is she the mum?
No, not the mum. She's the one that Buster has a weird thing with.
Oh, fuck, yeah.
Lucille B or something.
Lucille.
Lucille 2.
Is that Liza?
Too, aye.
Yeah.
She went out with that mad creepy cat cunt.
David Guest.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're a real odd couple, them two.
He looks like a cat.
They said that David was dead.
That's what... That and the John Travolta thing are the best pieces of
She's like falling
reality.
over. She says it 'cause she's been so dramatic. That is fucking incredible.
If you've seen 30 Rock, by the way, you'll be familiar with this. Minnelli is among a rare group of performers awarded an Emmy, Grammy,
EGOT.
Oscar,
EGOT.
And Tony. The EGOT.
Maybe
Yeah.
she,
EGOT. But yeah, you're
Best
like,
actress
who the
for
fuck
Godfather.
She went out with that guy that looked like a cat.
Well, I couldn't name you one of our films, and it's certainly not The Godfather. Maybe like
Chicago,
she's a
no?
song. Is it Chicago?
I think.
I'm gonna say "There's No Business Like Show." Does she sing that song?
Probably. I don't know.
She is.
I don't know why we're wasting
she
fucking
also
breath talking about it.
looks
to be
like a cat.
yeah, I think that must be one of the things they had in common when they got together. Like,
Cat-like
you look like a
creatures.
cat, I look like a cat.
Let's fuck.
Let's fucking see what happens.
Yeah, she's an odd person. The only real reference that I have to her is in School of Rock when he says Liza Minnelli, Fancy Pants. Liza
It's a little
Minnelli.
sort of quietly homophobic.
Yeah,
It's a different time.
it's a different time.
Taglines?
Well, I've not told you my actors.
Not interested.
Robert De Niro, Al Pacino, James Caan,
Why the fuck are you playing it?
Marlon Brando flashback, Diane Keaton, Joe Pesci, Isabella Rossellini.
Who's that? Was she in the first one?
I don't know.
Right. She's the only one of those I'll accept. And Joe Pesci.
Diane Keaton,
Yeah, I guess.
Marlon Brando.
Marlon Brando flashback, seeing as you've put a bit of thought into that, I'll allow that, yeah.
Isabella Rossellini, don't
Why
know.
is Steve not getting any of these? Because they're in the
They
first
were in the first one.
Right,
We can all
fair enough.
fucking do that.
Isabella Rossellini is I don't know who that is, but in Friends, Ross puts her on his 5 celebrities he's allowed to shag,
Right.
and sounds kind of Italian American.
Yep.
So
Fair enough.
will we go into taglines?
Yeah, they're all bad.
Of course, there.
Really shit. We'll just plough on. Pain, gain, more of the same. That's my first one. They're not getting any better either.
I've got, I'm going to make you a second offer you can't refuse.
That's good. That's better than my version of that, which was, here's an offer you can't refuse, a ticket to the Godfather 2.
Well, it could be. They're using it in like the Odeon. I've got welcome to the family, and the 2 is a
Okay.
number 2.
Simply, there's a new Godfather in town.
Too much God, not enough father.
You've really gone with the too good, too bad match of the day 2 angle.
Yeah, Too Fast, Too Furious.
Too God, too father.
Yeah, that was my placeholder.
The Godfather 2 Tokyo Drift.
But it's really important that you know that it's the number 2 in all of these taglines.
That's what makes it clever.
Yeah.
Dialogue.
That would also suggest it's a big family-friendly musical, so Liza Minnelli could be in that.
Yeah. Yeah. Dialogue?
I've got... So do you want me to go first?
Sure.
I'll paint a picture for
Oh,
you.
please do.
Gonna set the scene.
Like fucking Van Gogh here.
Italian restaurant. Main guy and his consiglieres sitting at a table. Little red and white checkered
Tablecloth.
tablecloth.
Of course.
Small table.
You're really painting it, to be fair. Keep going.
Wooden chairs.
Any art on the walls?
It's got the sort of poles, the wooden poles in the chairs, old school. Like not a flat back, it's got like like pillars, little
Okay,
wooden
yeah,
pillars in the
yeah.
chairs.
Yep, I hear you.
Black and white tiled flooring. And they're in...
Is it busy, this restaurant?
Nah,
Empty.
wouldn't
Indeed.
have
Is it
thought
after
so.
hours, maybe? Or
It's after hours. The shutters are down,
okay.
but the wee canopy thing is rolled in.
Any candles lit?
Candles.
One in the middle, I would imagine.
Smoking because they've just been blown out.
Mm.
And he's having a sit-down meal with his rival gangster called, Johnny,
Okay.
and they're talking business, so he goes, you got the stuff. Hey, come on! Can't we have some fucking meatballs before talking business? And he goes, I've had enough of your fucking meatballs, Johnny. I want my money. Whoa, hey! I'm gonna get you your fucking money. Relax. Who do you think I am? A guy who gives you meatballs and skimps out on the money? Forget about it. You're right, Johnny. I'm sorry. Don't mention it. Finish your meatballs. And then he buttons up his suit jacket. And he goes, yeah, I'll finish my meatballs. And I'll finish yours too. And he stands up and shoots him in the head. And then he takes one meatball off his plate and eats it.
Have you just let your voiceover agent start writing this?
I'm sending that to the voice.
That sounded like an I think you should leave sketch.
And that scene is why many people consider The Godfather 2 the greatest film of all time.
Sequel of all time. Mainly
God.
meatballs. End of
Well,
scene.
I can picture it.
Well, of course you can, because I painted the bloody Picasso
Yeah.
picture.
Do you want me to paint you a scene?
Paint it.
Let me get my easel out here.
Gonna
So
be like Jackson Pollock over there.
Michael, the new Don,
Mm,
he's in his office. It's his dad's old office.
right.
You remember it from the first film. It's
Uh-huh.
dark. It's always dark in there. He's never got enough lights on, this guy.
Oak table, little green lamp.
Little green lamp. Green leather chair.
Oh yeah.
Matches the lamp. Nice touch.
Nice drapes.
Lovely drapes. The curtains are almost fully closed and the blinds are sort of about 45 degrees. Just a little bit of lamplight
But,
coming in. But
that's-
nothing crazy.
That's
though.
more of a stylistic point of view from the director's
Yeah,
choice from that guy.
yeah. There's smoke sort of in the air because he's been smoking, but he's not smoking in the
This
same.
is a cigar. He likes a
It's a
cigar.
He's got sort of papers around on his desk and
It's
stuff like
messy.
that.
He's a busy guy.
He's a busy guy. Is that enough of a scene for you? Would you like more?
No, that's perfect. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Now, he's also got a business rival. He's come to visit him.
Okay.
Similar, but there's no... You used the word meatball about 18 times. You're not going to hear meatball once during this.
Okay.
So this is his sort of rival. He's saying, "You got to help me here, Michael. The business is on its ass." He goes, I can't remember how he spoke in the first one. Can you?
Just like Al Pacino in it.
I can't, Luca. You know I can't get involved with all that. He goes, your old man would have. I'm not my old man, Luca. I'm my own man. You think that's what he'd have wanted? Fuck what he'd have wanted. He's dead. Don't you get it? No amount of shit business is bringing him back. That's the scene. Tells him to go fuck
It's a
off.
beautiful line about the own business. What was it?
I'm my own man.
Own man instead of my old man.
And
Very
that's why a
clever.
lot of people consider this one of the best films
One of the
ever made.
best sequels ever made.
He's got meatballs in his mouth the whole time. He's just been
True.
eating meatballs, yeah.
He's got a napkin tucked in his sweet shirt, and he's eating meatballs. I would love it if they eat meatballs.
I don't remember meatballs in the first film, but you're never that far from meatballs in mafia films.
It wasn't that food heavy. I thought there would have been more food in it. I was
Yeah, The
disappointed.
Sopranos is big on food.
Yeah, Goodfellas love food.
Should we do plots?
Yeah, okay.
Mine or yours?
I'll
What
go
you fancy?
first. I'll go
Sure.
first.
I'm closing the laptop so I can listen fully.
Yeah, I want your
I'm
full
going to be
attention
hanging off
on
you
this,
every word here.
because you need to listen to this. It's like The Godfather. You really need to pay attention, because it's
Just go on my phone during this.
yeah. don't do that. So I'm going to paint a picture for you
Please
via
don't.
words.
Please.
It's the 30s. It's New York, and one man is about to put business
So you
before
said this wasn't going to be a prequel.
family.
Thought you said this wasn't going to be a prequel.
What do you mean?
Well, the last one was set in the 50s.
Was it? Fuck! I thought it was Prohibition.
No. It spanned a few years, but I think it ended in the sort of mid-50s.
Did it?
Yeah. So you fucked it already, and I'm going to get a point for saying it's the 50s, unless maybe it's in the 60s or something.
It's the 60s. It's New York, and one man is about to put business before family. We follow Tony a short period of time after the story of the...
Who's Tony?
Al Pacino.
Soprano. He's called Michael.
Is he?
Is he not?
Yeah, he's got Michael.
Ah,
Did you watch The Godfather the first time?
I can't remember the details. How am I going to remember his name?
I mean,
there's a lot
I don't remember, but that's
This is getting so bad that you are going to need to start watching the same films you've already watched again and guessing the plots again from scratch.
Oh, God. The first one was quite boring.
Yeah. 3 stars.
Can I just say on behalf of the listeners, I hated both your takes on that.
No one enjoyed the Godfather episode.
Nah. But some people have come up to me and went, "Oh, I'm so glad you hate shit like The Godfather but love Face Off." It's like, yeah, you're my kind of person.
Good taste.
And that man was Nicolas Cage.
We follow Michael a short period of time after the story of the first Godfather film ends. The family business is doing great. There's only one problem. His family isn't.
They've time traveled.
They're stuck in the past. It's this is like the Back to the Future. Actually, is prequel to that.
Tony from The Godfather, right? Johnny be good.
There's a disgraced nuclear physicist. Tony's wife Marie is really Is she called Marie?
I don't know.
I don't give a fuck
He's
anymore.
not called Tony either.
Michael's wife, Marie, is struggling with life. Michael isn't there for her physically or emotionally. He hardly ever sees the kids, and when he does, it's a flying visit. But Tony has his own problems.
You gotta pick a name, bro.
Tony, I'm just saying it's Tony, which is short for Michael. Sure. Mike, Tony. Tony has his own problems. The business is doing well, but there's trouble with the other mafia families brewing. There's only one there's only one.
There's a few problems.
There's another
Not only
problem.
one problem, is there?
There's only a few problems.
Because you said there was only one problem, and then you said that he had a problem, but he was in the first problem.
He's got 3 problems. 1, his wife. 2, the other mafia families. And 3,
Damn meatballs.
there's a rat. These meatballs are undercooked. There's also a rat in the family. 4 problems. And the other mafia families, there's a problem with them. So they're not happy that this big, bald, dick swinging new kid on the block.
Shaved his head.
He's not bald, he's big bald. He's not a bald man. He's got big balls on him. He's got big cojones. He's a new kid on the block and he's running things. Tony gets word that one of the other families is going to try and take a hit out on him, so he preemptively retaliates and kills the head of the Filoni family, which is a chippy down the road from here. Needless to say, they don't take too kindly to this, and there's another problem. A war breaks out between the two families, because films are problems.
Yeah.
It transpires that someone had lied to Tony about the aforementioned attempted hit. Tony finds out that it's a rat, it's his rat cousin, and then he kills him. Meanwhile, Marie is gradually feeling alone and distant. She decides to leave Tony and takes the kids with her, which is another problem, I suppose. And she goes into hiding. We close with Tony sat alone in his office with no family and a snowballing turf war that never seems to end. He knows that it was his choices that led him here, but he's in too deep. What's going to happen? You're going to need to find out in The Godfather 3.
She's done the wins against him.
Yes, yeah. He's got his he's got his top unbuttoned going down the street. He's turned the wins against us, Marie. You know, that sort of stuff.
Well, I enjoyed that, Steve.
Thank you. Any questions?
I quite enjoyed the last episode of the series, and only one problem has turned into there's only some problems.
You want to hear mine?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Paint a picture for me.
Here's the picture. Listen up. Okay,
Fireworks.
listen up. It's the 50s. It's New York. And the Corleone family is down on its luck. Following the death of Vito, there's a new dawn in town in the form of Michael, but the family's grip on power is at an all-time low, and he's got a job on his hands. He's basically the David Moyes of Italian-American crime. The Godfather Part 2 takes all the things you loved about the original, nice suits, murder, and men mumbling about respect, and does them more. This time, however, we focus on Michael's callous and cutthroat business decisions to try and return his family to the top of the tree. He's less reasonable than his father, and quicker to turn to violence. In the wake of his dad's death, he's in a very dark and nihilistic place and no longer views the world with any kind of moral obligation. He's meddling with more dangerously in politics, law enforcement and drug cartels, and has recklessly thrown his weight around. Elsewhere, we see bent coppers, dodgy priests, prostitutes, etc. trying to get their way with their own motives, and Michael's brothers and family members questioning his decision-making and planning to overthrow him as leader. Brother Fredo plots to murder Michael, but he's always one step behind Michael, and ultimately it's Fredo who pays the ultimate price. By the end, Michael is even more of a monster than at the beginning, a completely irredeemable villain who nevertheless commands respect. We get the sense that he had no choice but to become this, otherwise he'd have been killed a long time ago himself. For all his evil, we understand his intentions and question if we might have done the same. Also, for a bit, we go to Italy for some scenery and beautiful dark-haired women as a bit of respite. The end.
Beautiful.
And that is The Godfather Part 2.
See this Fredo thing?
You've
snaked me on that big time. Very good.
Maybe
stuff.
not, I don't
I've
know.
got 0 questions.
I would say that both of these are surprisingly accurate for a change. Probably the
Yeah.
Both of your plots are probably the closest that either of you have got to any film that you have ever guessed.
I mean,
And we're
arguably, they're not
that similar either.
But also, arguably, because we've seen the first one, I guess maybe they should be. But then we did say how little we remember of the first one.
Yeah, I don't have a clue. I was calling him Tony.
Old Tony Meatball. Should we come on to bonuses?
Yes, let's rattle through these titties.
Yep. Tick. I've got Yabos.
Do you think
AKA
they'll say
titties.
Yabos?
I don't think they'll say Yabos, but I think we'll see Yabos. For all the Hocus Pocus pans out. Fuck's sake. Hocus Pocus fans out there. It's because I was thinking of Paddy's Hocus Pocus, whatever the fuck it was called. Focus Pocus.
Focus Pocus.
God, hard to say. I've got titties in short.
Yabos. I've got man being questioned by police whilst unloading van.
Brilliant.
Nailed the John Mulaney routine.
Yeah, I can see that. I've got a horse, a live horse, as a sort of
Not a
You know,
headless
throwback.
horse.
a horse with a head. Very clever metaphor
Thanks.
for new beginnings.
Yeah. Well, if the headless horse in the first one was a metaphor for
For a dead horse.
dead horses, this is a
This would be
metaphor
for a living
for new
horse.
beginnings.
Beautiful, isn't it?
Very good.
Apparently,
Final.
there was originally going to be a second dead horse in that, and then
Really?
that's where the phrase "flogging a dead horse" comes from.
Because there's
Nah,
too
he's
many.
having you on. Can tell.
You'll need to wait and see.
I think Godfather Part 2 will be like Seabiscuit, basically.
Just Hunter's a...
Yeah, one of the only films Michael Owen's seen.
He's a jockey, I know.
What's your last bonus?
Gangster kisses his mother after eating a class bowl of spaghetti.
Yeah, that will happen.
Just grab her by the head and go, "Ma, your fucking spaghetti's gorgeous." The kisses her on the forehead.
Yeah, I can see that. My final one, simply funeral. There'll be a
Just-
funeral.
Okay, just a funeral.
Say no more. Do you think they'll say the title?
No,
Me neither.
absolutely not.
I don't think they're going to say The
They can't.
Godfather Part 2.
They can't sneak that in, can they?
It'd be a hell of a fucking swing, but I don't think so. All that leaves us with is theme tune.
Yes, what do you fancy?
Well, obviously you've already done one for The Godfather.
I've done strings,
Checked it off easy.
boats and hose. I'm sure it
I'd
was the last
forgotten
one.
about that. So maybe take the sort of Godfather vibe and song, but I'd like to hear a sort of club remix.
A remixed version
Yes.
of it.
Do you think you can provide that for us?
Do you think?
I think that's in your wheelhouse, Steve.
Do you think I've already got it right here?
Go on, play it for me now. I'm all ears.
Yeah, I'm going to play you a song you can't
Can't
hate
help but listen to.
right now.
I know it was you, Fredo. You broke my heart.
What did you think of that?
I felt like I was in Ibiza.
Ibiza.
London to Ibiza. Yeah, I felt like I was on the floor. What did you think, Mark? Did you like it?
Godfather 2 is the best film that I've ever seen, and that is the best thing that I've ever heard.
Mm.
Thanks.
And he doesn't say that like
It doesn't say that out. Well, you don't really say that about The Godfather Part 2 being your... Is that your favourite film?
Favourite film.
Is it?
I think
Feel pressure now then?
I really enjoyed it. I think judging
Do you
based
think
on
we'll like it?
based on your take on the first one, not as much as me, but
Right.
no, I did. I really enjoyed it. I also just have an affinity for it because Steve, me and you both had chip vans at our school
That's right.
called the
The
Codfather.
Codfather.
Had the Codfather 2 in
That
mine.
was The Codfather Part 1.
And the tagline on both vans, I believe, was "I'll give you a supper you cannot refuse."
Shout out, that's the new sponsor as well. The Codfather by Buchanan,
Mm.
Clydebank fish fan.
Shout out to Rosie's. That was the one we had
Oh,
in
nice.
the Bevy Park.
Nice.
All our food was from Lidl's. Shout out, Rosie. That's us. Should we go off and watch it?
Sure. You looking forward to it?
Yeah, I am. Clean bill of health for this one. Clean page. I'll just forget everything from the first one, which I
Don't-
had done anyway.
Yeah, don't let that cloud your judgment.
No, I just want to go in fresh, try
Cloud-
and enjoy it. I want the listeners to know I'm trying.
Cloudy with a chance of meatballs.
Yes. We ain't topping that. Let's get
Come
into
on,
part
let's,
2.
okay, let's
Come
do
on.
it. Let's do it.
See you
Let's
in part
see
2.
in part 2.
We're back. We have just watched The Godfather Part 2. If
Mm.
you've not seen it, here's a synopsis. Michael, Vito Corleone's son, attempts to expand his family's criminal empire. While he strikes a business deal with gangster Hyman Roth, he remains unaware of the lurking danger. quite a few words for quite a long film.
If you had a synopsis for this film, you'd be reading the novel that it was based on.
Mario Puzo's original book.
Correct. I got given that as a Christmas present last
I
year.
assume you've not read it.
No.
Nah.
My brother-in-law
Get
gave
your
me.
nose in the Greek mythology books, haven't you, son?
I've got a Greek mythology book sitting there, and Mario Puzo's book is sitting on top in my desk, gathering dust. I don't read. Of course I don't.
Do you think we got today to where we are by reading?
By reading books?
Do you think book smarts got us here?
Nah.
Did they? Fuck.
Couple of dumb bitches over here.
YouTube smarts.
I will read it one day, Craig, if you're listening, which you are a listener. But I've not read it because I knew that we were doing this and I didn't want to spoil it. You know,
Exactly. Good man.
That's my excuse. I'm
What's-
sticking to it.
Did you think of the movie, Steve?
Quite shite. I don't know. I don't know. It wasn't great. People say this is amazing. People say it's better than the original. I probably preferred the original.
Okay.
And I didn't even really. I think the original was fine. I can't. Looking back, I think I said that I liked it, but you know, I can't really remember what happened in it.
Yeah.
To the point where I didn't know what the fuck was happening in this movie.
Well, I don't either.
Didn't have a clue. Too many characters. They don't really set them up. I wish they had I think we've said this before, but I wish they had the freeze frame.
Yeah.
This is Don
So you're probably
Filoni.
wondering who this guy is.
You're wondering how I got here. Well, let me tell you. None of that happened, so you just have to figure out everything by yourself.
Yeah, well, I kept thinking I'd miss bits.
Yeah.
So many characters, so many similar names.
Yeah.
I probably liked it more than you going off that, but I did it dirty big time the way I watched it, of course.
Let me need to get into this. How did you watch this, Stu?
I mean, I'd rather not, but we can if you want. I mean, it is pertinent to what we're doing.
You don't need to go into too many details, but
All right.
you watched it on a bus.
I watched, well, yeah, that's just one leg of the fucking the journey I had with Godfather 2. My weekend got away from me,
Of
right?
course
You know,
it
these
did.
things happen.
Yep.
You know, we need to record today
Mm.
at like noon or something. In my mind, we're meeting at noon
Yep.
today. I have about 5 pints last night.
6, I believe you told me.
I can't remember. I'm well lubricated last night, put it
Yeah.
that way. I'm not thirsty.
Mm.
I'm in Edinburgh. I end up watching it for about an hour last night,
Steaming.
drunk. So I watched the first hour. I mean, spoilers, but this movie is, what, 3 hours 22,
Yeah.
I think?
Too long.
I watched the first
22
hour
long.
at about 2 a.m. last night. The rest of the movie I watched...
You had to purchase it.
Yeah, had to rent it. And
It was on Now TV. I don't know if you've got Now TV.
I've got Sky Go on my laptop, but I wasn't on my laptop, and I had to rent it on someone else's account. And then this morning, I watched it. And by the way, I watched this over about 16 hours or something like that over the course of last night and today. And I honestly thought about Martin Scorsese the whole time. He was never out of my thoughts, Martin Scorsese.
And he didn't make the film.
I was walking to get a bus, watching it on my phone on Amazon Prime, using the login details of someone else to watch it.
Walking whilst watching.
I was walking suburban Edinburgh this morning, watching it. I had a McDonald's sitting breakfast, watching The Godfather this morning at about 8:30 a.m. You know, sitting with workies and stuff like that, and I'm
Do you
watching The
think they were
Godfather
watching
Part
The
2.
Godfather on their phone?
You know, it was hard to say. They were more like chatting and stuff,
Yeah.
having a good time.
Yeah.
Monday morning,
They weren't watching a 3-hour 20 film.
I'm watching it on the way from McDonald's to the bus stop. I'm watching it on the bus. I fall asleep on the City Link watching
Fuck's
it
sake.
because I'm exhausted, you know. And then I'm watching it on my phone from Buchanan bus station to my flat. And then I'm just lying in bed for an hour, polishing it off earlier, just watching it on my phone in my hand like that.
Oh, God, that would be tiring as well.
And also,
Lying
it's
down.
like it was really sunny today, and the film's really dark. I basically couldn't see a lot of it. Like, no one's ever watched the film as badly as I watched this.
And this is one of the ones that you would get fucking hounded for.
Yeah, this is like the prime example of like,
You need to sit
please
down
don't do this film dirty.
and watch this properly.
And I dirty dogged this film.
I mean, fair play to you. That's commitment. That's very funny to me. I watched,
It was a real ordeal. Like, if you'd have told me at 1 a.m. last night, you will watch all of The Godfather. I thought it was going to be the first time ever I'd have to hold my hands up and say, listen, I
I've
know I
read
had
the
a couple of weeks.
Wikipedia page.
I ain't seen this fucking thing. I'm astonished I'm sitting in front of you right now,
Haven't watched.
having watched it.
Fair
And the most
play.
annoying point to me is I'm fucking back gigging in Edinburgh tonight. I need to go back in about half an hour.
to the scene of the crime.
What a fucking day.
I'll shake your hand right now. Fair play.
Thanks, man.
Fair play.
And I still liked it more than you.
Yeah, exactly that, which is insane.
I
I don't know. I was a wee bit sort of bored.
mean, it's so long.
It's far too fucking long. Far too long.
I
Not
did-
one mention of meatballs.
No,
Gutted.
no, none.
Gutted.
That was one of the things that perked me up was when they had a dinner scene at one point, and it reminded me of your
Here it
meatball
goes.
scene.
Here it goes. Here's the meatballs.
Come on, Mom, get the spaghetti out.
Not
get the
one of them
meatballs out.
said
No,
meatballs.
a lot of cakes and stuff.
Yeah, he had a nice pear at one point that he puts on a table. I quite liked De Niro as Vito.
Yeah, it was a bit of the old face-off routine.
Yeah,
I'm watching him thinking, but he's being Marlon Brando.
yeah, because he started
He's
doing
got
the wee
Robert De Niro's
voice.
face, but he's being Marlon Brando.
Started sneaking in the voice along the way.
No, he was good.
I
I liked the bit
that.
where he was doing parkour on the roof.
Yeah,
Unexpected parkour.
that was
In The
great.
Godfather Part 2.
That reminded me of a TikTok that I'd watched just before it, where people doing parkour. I would have happily watched just De Niro playing that character because felt like, oh, I know this backstory to this guy Brando had played
Yeah.
it. I thought he was better than Brando.
Maybe controversial, I don't know.
I'm
I
holding
also
my
don't
hands
care.
up.
But someone will be annoyed by that.
Yeah, big time,
But that goes for most sentences we say to each other.
of course.
I liked that technique. I liked getting the forward and back.
Yeah, because Stu, I don't know if you realise what they were doing there.
What were they doing, Steve?
They
Tell me.
were showing the
I'm
rise
literally
of
on the edge of my fucking seat here, boy.
showing the rise of Vito and the fall of Michael. At
You know,
the
I never
same
made
time.
that connection until you said it.
You
You've
know.
articulated that perfectly.
You know, I was watching it and I thought that's very clever what they're
It's
doing.
a little nod to the first film, really, isn't it?
You know, when I read that on Wikipedia, I thought that was very clever that they done that.
Well, I thought it was a great technique, and it could have been done a lot hackier, I think. I think the editing in general in the film was fantastic. The way scenes would cut from one to the next in a really meaningful way.
Yeah,
I thought it was really well done.
nice music
Nice music.
in it.
Yes, for sure.
Uh,
They're never done going to parties and gatherings, these lads, are they?
Oh, they like a gathering.
They do.
Oh, they do. Yeah.
Lockdown would have hit the Corleone family hard, wouldn't it?
Oh, really?
All
hard.
them over Zoom.
They
Fuck
would.
that.
Them doing quizzes. Fuck's sake, no.
Trying
no
to set a
chance.
little side Zoom so they can talk business. And then,
They would have been breaking lockdown. I'm putting
You
that.
reckon?
I'm putting that out there.
I'd like to distance myself from that. I think that's
Yeah,
judgmental.
you think they're the? I mean, he was in court saying that it was legitimate business and there was no dirty goings on there. Fair play. Maybe they would have stuck to lockdown. I've got my suspicions.
Ultimately, we'll never know.
We'll never know.
We'll never know.
We can't ask Brando. We could ask
He's not here
Coppola.
today.
Could ask Coppola.
Yeah, I was looking into it. It's mad that he's still alive, isn't it? You'd
Yeah.
think he'd be fucking ancient. But he was I think he was 33 when he made the second one. So I don't know how old he'd be for the first one. Must have been late 20s, which is nuts, isn't it?
And he's only got like out with the Godfather trilogy. The only other film I could name is like Apocalypse Now. Does he do Flubber?
Yeah, he
Does
did
that-
Flubber.
does
That was
yeah.
him. It was those two in Flubber.
I'm a big fan of him actually. He is great. Did he not do Big Mama's House as well?
Yeah, that was him.
Yeah. Oh,
It was actually his idea for Eddie Murphy to play all the characters in Norbit. That was him.
that was his nod. That's great. Will we move on to points?
Yeah, the only other two notes I had was that that Roth guy who was like their business, the Havana guy, reminded me a bit of Anthony Hopkins and The Father.
Yeah. That's
Sometimes
stupid.
daft old lad.
That daft.
And also the big lad in the white hat was class.
Who's that again?
He was the one who Robert De Niro as Vito Corleone when he was making his play on his way up, and he he kept underpaying him.
Oh yeah.
He was fucking funny, that guy.
He was very.
He was a larger than life character.
He was.
Good value.
I liked him.
Anyway, shall we come on to points, Steve?
Yes. Did he shoot him with a wee towel?
Towel and then it went on fire.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
liked how it went on fire.
Yeah, it was cool. Yeah,
Liked that a
good
lot. I
moment.
wonder if they meant that.
Hell of a lot of deaths and stuff in this. Not that I was expecting it to be
And
a
saying
PG.
that, I would have wanted more action.
Yeah,
I was a bit bored with all the chat.
a lot of chit chat going on about respect.
And obviously you had heard about
And
through
you, Fredo. Through Still Game, yeah.
through Still Game, so you
But
got that.
then in the end, it wasn't. Unless because I mean, to reiterate, I was fucking pissed watching the first hour of this film, and then I woke up and wasn't pissed, and I wasn't sure how much of it was me being confused because I was pissed watching the first hour, and how much was the film, and how much would it be me confused anyway.
Well, I think that would have been a big reveal in it, and because I had that in the back of my head from you saying that, I was just sort of like, this is, I don't know, just didn't really enjoy it that much. You spoiled it for me via Winston.
Sorry. Well, I got to tell you what I know.
I know, that's it.
Sorry, man, my hands are tied.
It's the cross I have to bear.
So, year was 1974.
I had 1980.
Yep. You thought they'd all be wearing rolled up sports coats, didn't you?
Yeah.
And leg warmers and stuff. I had 1976, so I'm one up.
One up.
Rotten Tomatoes was 96.
I had 99.
I had 98. I'm two up. Runtime was 3 hours 22.
Far too long.
Insanely long.
I had 2 hours 40.
I had 2 hours 55. So I'm 3 up.
Chance would be a fine thing.
I'd fucking kiss Francis Ford on the lips last night if I'd have learned that this movie was suddenly 40 minutes shorter. That would honestly change my life so much for the better. I've been in such a better mood right now.
Yeah. Certificate.
18.
Always an 18.
Always an 18 when there's gangsters in town.
Yeah.
I got an actor.
Who?
Danny Aiello. Don't tell me to say who he played or who he was, but his name was on the Wikipedia.
This is so sus. I also had an actor, if you'll allow me.
Well, it sounds sus. Is it somebody for the first film?
Yeah. But he died in the first film.
Was
and
it Sonny?
Yeah.
Yeah, me and Mark were laughing at you.
You were laughing at me for saying that, so...
Yeah, no, I'll allow that. Why
Thanks.
not? Fuck it.
James Caan.
James Caan, yeah. James can act, to be fair to the guy.
He can.
He's a scene stealer.
Yep.
Also, it just made me laugh him turning up, because he turned up about 3 hours 10 minutes into this
He was the very
film.
last. Apparently, I'll read a wee bit of trivia, if you will allow me.
Please, I allow it.
Apparently, that scene was meant to be Marlon Brando, all about him, and then there was a thing, and Marlon Brando said that he's not going to be in it anymore, so they had to make it about Sonny rather than him. And it's because it's his birthday, they're waiting on him. But I like that. That's one of the things I'd like, that they went round the corner to surprise Vito, Marlon Brando, and he's just sitting there by himself. It seemed like quite... Because that was like the end of the movie, where Michael's sitting there all alone, and he just looks lonely.
Yeah.
And I thought that was nice, but that turned out that was like a bit of a not a mistake, but something that they had to do in retrospect.
Yeah. Yeah, interesting.
Quite good.
Yeah.
So I've got a couple of character names.
I've also got 2 character names. Well, 1.5. I've got Johnny.
Oh, yeah. I've got Tony.
Yeah. That was the kid, right? Anthony, I think.
Well, there was Anthony and there was also Tony as well, a different Tony.
Well, I was going to try Frankie emphasise. There was a Frank, not a Frankie.
Okay. Well, I had Vito and Sonny. Will you give me those? Because they both died, but then it turns out flashbacks.
Yeah, well, yeah. Well...
Give me 1. 2 for the price of 1.
I'll chuck 2 in for the price of 1. How's that? Like
I'll take it.
on The Apprentice when it's like 4 p.m. and they need to stop and they're just running around handing out donuts for 10p. Because I was impressed, to be fair, because I didn't know that it was going to be a prequel and a sequel at the same time, and you had said that in a sense. You'd said that it was going to be flashbacks.
Yeah.
So I'd give you a point for that.
Thanks.
And I'd give you a point for having Sonny in it.
Thanks.
So, So what are we on here?
Evens? No, well,
You're
you're
3 up, innit? I got all 3 numbers. Danny Aiello, Johnny and Frankie.
And then
That's
I got
6. I feel like you've not got 6 points.
well, I got a character name, and how about
Didn't
your?
see Liza Minnelli.
We'll say that you're 2 up.
Okay, fine.
I also had another character named Policeman. Did you have Policeman?
I did have Policeman.
Okay.
And I looked for it on the Wikipedia and I couldn't find it.
No titties.
Well, I was going to ask you about this. I could have sworn I'd have slept through titties because there was a scene. I had sex workers, and there was sex workers, so that's another point. But I could have sworn you'd think in a 3-hour-old gangster movie you'd see some, wouldn't you?
Tasteful.
I'd put a lot of money on that.
Of course.
Yeah. Bechtel test?
Nah.
On this movie?
Shut up.
You kidding on?
Yeah, fuck off.
No way.
No titties, no man being questioned by the police while unloading a van. None of that.
I've got it's the 50s.
You do. I've got it's the 30s, which technically there was
It
some
was
of
it was loads of
that time.
frame, wasn't it? So horribly articulated, but you know what I mean. I've got this New York.
Same.
Okay.
One man is about to put his business before family.
Yeah. I've got the Corleone family's down on its luck.
Yeah.
Thanks, man.
We follow Tony a short
We basically got this
period.
word for word.
Yeah. Because Mark did say that both of us had it close and we both had different plots.
So between us, we've nailed it.
We have. Between us,
Finally.
we wrote
This
the
is the last
Godfather Part
episode.
2.
It
Easy.
finally happened.
That's
Easy
how
peasy.
shit this film
It
was.
fucking sucks. Everyone says this is the best thing ever.
Two bozos like
These
us
two fucking jabronis
can write
guessed it. Couldn't even remember the first film.
Yeah, don't give a shit. Part 2 easy. I don't even want to know what part 3 will be like. That's meant to be diabolical.
Yeah. I've got we focus on Michael's callous and cutthroat business decisions to try and return his family to the top of the tree.
Yep. I've got business isn't doing great. There's only one problem. His family isn't. Business is doing great. Family isn't.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Is business going great? It's going alright.
And they're in court.
And then the court. See, the court thing, that's something I kind of missed.
Don't have a clue. What was that?
They were just suddenly in court like that series of The Thick of It where it's all the inquiry.
Yeah. And then there was the senator guy at the start. He didn't really come back into it, did he?
The guy from who was the dead sex worker when...
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was the end of his storyline. Dead
Yeah.
sex worker. You're in our back pocket now.
Yeah. See you never. I
Yeah.
thought he might rock up at the court at least.
That's what I thought.
That's how we'd improve it.
Yeah.
Uh,
We've got some tips for you, Francis Ford.
Yeah, fucking drop us a line. Join the Patreon, Francis, and we'll sort you out. I've got he's meddling more dangerously in politics.
Yeah. Okay. Tony's wife, Marie, is is struggling with life.
She is, because she's married to Tony, whoever that is. Michael.
Michael.
Yeah, I mean, he's horrible to her.
Yeah. Piece of shit.
Grim scene towards the end where he punches her.
Yeah, horrible.
His reaction to the miscarriage, I thought, was really
Was
shocking.
it a boy?
Yeah, it's nuts, innit?
Crazy.
Good scene, but nuts.
Yeah.
Um,
Also, like, I feel like they are trying to say, oh, but she got an abortion, so she's in the wrong. And, like, I think that's the way it's sort of
oh, really?
dated
That's
badly.
not how I read it, but maybe that's wrong.
Because when she was like, I got an
It was
abortion.
nice that
and
she
was
got her
shouting.
a day in the sun.
Yeah.
Got it right up him.
Which.
But then
yeah.
ultimately, obviously, he shut her out, and that was a heartbreaking scene when she's behind the door. And
Yeah, there was. I mean,
'Cause he's
that
a
was
horrible
quite.
father.
There was quite a bit of to and fro in there. There was a bit of nuance there. I think that was quite well done, in a way. I don't know if it dates that well.
And
but
when you cut it with all the stuff of Vito with Michael when he's a kid and
Yeah.
what a bright future he's going to have and everything, I thought that was
Yeah.
really well done.
yeah,
I've got by the end, Michael is even more of a monster than at the beginning, a completely irredeemable villain who nevertheless commands respect. We get the sense he had no choice but to become this.
yep,
There's your Godfather Part 2, really, isn't it?
yeah. Still, I
In a
think
nutshell.
I've got other highlighted points, but I think you've won it because of the
I've
numbers.
also got Funeral and we go to Italy for a bit.
Yeah, you've got all that. I've got, she decides to leave and take the kids, and Tony was sat alone in his office at the end. Tony being Michael.
Mm-hmm.
But you
Yeah.
know what?
I think I've kind of...
I'm gonna give you it.
Thanks, man. Thank you.
This is the third
we
time
should keep shaking hands. For the listeners who won't have even heard one, we keep shaking each other's hands during this episode for some reason.
But not throughout the series, we haven't shook hands once.
It's not a thing we do, but it's a new thing we've started for the last episode of the series.
It's about respect,
I respect you, you respect me. That's business.
and that's what this film is
That's
about.
family. We like
Respect,
family, aren't we?
Family, business, all that sort of good
Suits.
stuff. Suits,
Yeah, a lot of suits.
meatballs, no meatballs.
Vibe-wise, it was about meatballs.
Had a big meatball vibe.
Godfather Part 2, is that the one about meatballs?
In a sense. In a sense.
You're barking up the right tree, actually, really, in many ways.
They don't mention them, but we get the vibe of it. We
It's
get the
like how
feeling.
in Casablanca they don't actually say play it again, Sam.
Exactly.
In Godfather Part 2 they don't actually say, hey, you want a meatball? But
it's there and bubbling under the
the
surface.
subtext is, these people want meatballs. I've not listened back to part 1 yet, and I remember laughing a lot at your fucking scene that you set out for about 10 minutes, and I'm looking forward to listening to it. That's when I get to feel like a listener. Before it's been put out, it was weeks ago.
Well done, Stu.
Thanks, man. Shall we maybe get our critics in?
Let's go to critics' reviews.
Critic reviews.
Hello, son. How are you doing? How are you getting on?
I'm good. How are you?
Oh, I'm smashing. Doing away.
You looking well?
Thanks, man. Yeah.
If I do say so myself, you look a bit different.
Do I?
A little bit.
Well, I were hoping you wouldn't notice, but I'm always inspired by film, and I'm always I'm into my body modifications.
Yeah, I've noticed, yeah.
Across the weeks, I like to mix it up. I like to keep my look fresh.
Well, you like to look fresh. I'm going to say you look a bit older.
Well, that's very offensive. You wouldn't go up to a beautiful woman and say that, would you? I don't know why it's at me.
Well, because you have aged, literally.
I have aged. I've been aged. I went
Yeah.
to my surgeon, Carlos, and I got him to age me up.
So is that a wee bit like, you go to Boots, get your anti-aging creams, is the opposite?
He rubs on aging cream, yeah,
Right, and
which
you-
is just like, it's like cement, basically. It's heavy duty cement, and it ages you up. I fancied it after watching film this week, where you got your flashbacks, your flash forwards.
Yep.
I was thinking, if I can have the face of an older Paddy, I can understand what it's going to be like for me in the future. You know?
Right. Okay, and how's that been?
It's been interesting, I've been eating a lot of Werther's Originals. I've been sitting about smoking my pipe. I've become old Paddy, and I've got to say, it's nice. You don't want to live your 100-mile lifestyle all your life. You need to slow down at some point. So
Of course.
I know the road ahead of me now, and I know that I'll enjoy it when I get there.
And would you give any advice to your younger self now that you've lived an old life?
Invest in crypto.
Right. Great.
NFTs, they're the future.
Yeah.
That's safe money. That's going nowhere. That's safe, man.
Great. Well, there you go. Brilliant, guys. Get on that first. Invest. Have you got a little review for us, or are we a game show? What have you got for us this week?
I've got a game show. I've got a pitch for you.
Okay.
You want to
great.
hear it?
Yeah, brilliant.
Let me just get me map book. Hold on. My face is a lot larger.
It's
now
a
as
lot
well. I got
bigger?
him to make it bigger. It's like a big dinner plate. It goes right down to me. I basically have no neck anymore. That's something I'll have to deal with in future.
Yeah, just get your neck chopped off. Bigger face. That's
That-
what aging is.
Yeah, I mean, your face ain't getting smaller, is it? Let's be honest.
Nah, not
Let's
at all.
be honest. Your nose keeps growing.
Everything grows.
Hairy ears.
Neck shrinks, face grows.
And yeah, as you say, I'm looking good for it, don't you think?
Yeah, great. Brilliant.
Carlos, he's good. I'll give you his number.
Thanks.
All right, so my pitch this week's for a sort of reality game show.
Okay.
And as a sort of foundation, I want you to think it's a little bit like Big Brother, all right?
Right, okay.
And it's called Keep Your Friends Close, but Your Enemies Closer.
Right,
Right.
okay. I'll move the mic round for you so you can...
Thank you. It's nice to have the mic near my mouth, isn't
Yeah,
it? But
that'd
there's a
be
lot
good.
for Paddy to deal with right now. So, it's a reality programme in the Big Brother mould, but with a twist. One person is at the centre of it all, and they're the last to enter the house. The other contestants are a heady mix of friends of theirs and people they fucking hate, pulled from different areas of their life so that they don't know each other.
Right, okay.
You're thrust, so imagine what it's like for you, this, right? There's people from your old work, stand-ups, people from all parts of your life. Some of them are friends, some of them are enemies. The game is this. The person in the middle of it has to trick the voting public audience watching at home into not knowing which people are your friends and which people are your enemies by icing their mates and being kind to their enemies, that kind of thing, muddying the waters, right?
Right.
Trying to keep the public guessing. They don't know what's going on. It's a psychological kind of thing. Again, I mean, I'm very influenced by Derren Brown. I should say that.
He's a great guy.
Great guy. So yeah, I know the people are getting voted off and that. They think they're on regular Big Brother, but it's actually just a game show for the one person in the middle.
Sneaky.
Sneaky, very sneaky. More hidden cameras, you know me.
You love your hidden cameras.
I never like to see a camera. Do you know what I mean?
Even when you're doing your big shiny floor sort of
See
stuff.
me out. We have them hidden all over. Little CCTV. It's all CCTV.
Just pretending that it's real.
They don't know they're on telly. That's part of the fun. Oh, my face is falling off. For fuck's sake. Hold it. Hold it.
Hold it in place for a couple of seconds.
And it's gone dark. Right. If the contestant makes it to the end with the public not knowing whether they're left in the house with their enemy or their friend, they win £1 million, confetti
Wow.
rains down. But if the public suss them out, they're made to go into the diary room and tell all the other contestants watch them and basically just embarrassing themselves, talking about how much they fucking hate them all. And the friends are pissed off because they've sort of sold them out for money.
Yeah.
So it's a lose-lose, really. Blah, 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 snaking over their friends. It's a little bit like the Chantel series of Celebrity Big Brother, where there's one sort of rat in camp.
The best series.
Easily. One of the best series of anything, you know. Breaking Bad's all good, but it's not exactly Chantel, is it?
No.
I was thinking Channel 5 Star. Have you heard of that channel?
Oh,
That's a
yeah.
channel, innit?
Yeah.
5 Star.
Yeah.
They can't have too much content.
I couldn't name you one program on there.
Do you know what I'm thinking this week is I'm too hungover to do the voice properly. It's really, really bad this week. But there you go. It's been a long day. Presented by Maya Jama.
Oh,
You know
yes.
her? The
Beautiful.
lovely Maya Jama.
Lovely.
Beautiful. But I'm thinking I'll host a spin-off, which is called Enemies Closer, The Gossip's Little Brother in the City. Got my eyes on that one. Sponsored by Cup of Soup, which will be the only food available in the house. It's like an exclusivity contract, a bit of sort of psychological torture for them. What do you think?
Great. I love it.
Sold.
Sign me up.
See you on 5 Star.
I'll be first
Keep
contestant.
your friends close, but your enemies closer.
There you go. Watch it on 5 Star. Thanks very much for
Adios.
that, Paddy. Appreciate
Adios.
it.
There he goes.
There we go.
Wow.
Excellent.
Some guy.
So good, man. I love that guy. He's great.
He's a good time guy, isn't he? He's up for
fun.
a laugh.
Even in his old age, he's fun.
Shall we get your critic in, Steve?
Yeah, let's go back
Let's hear from
to
him.
critics' reviews.
Critic reviews.
Alright, boys.
Hey, Roger. How you doing?
Ah, fantastic, Stu. How are you?
Oh, I'm good, man. I'm chipper. What you been up to?
Well, for the listeners at home, I'm holding... I've been playing sports.
You've been playing sports.
I'm holding a racket.
He's holding a bobsleigh.
I wish I could fit that thing in here. I'm holding a racket.
You're making a racket?
Making a racket. You know, people call me the racket. That's what they call me.
Like Ronnie O'Sullivan's the rocket, you're the racket.
I'm the racket.
So you've been playing badminton
No, table tennis.
with a badminton racket?
With a badminton racket because it's bigger, it's easier to play with.
Certainly easier to hit the ball, I would imagine.
It's so much easier. It actually gives me such an advantage. However, sometimes it's too powerful. These wee strings are too powerful. I don't know if you can listen to that. Oh, so powerful.
Have you ever thought of just like covering over the strings with the foam that would be on a ping pong paddle?
That's a great idea.
Yeah, because then you got the best of both worlds.
Aye, longer, because it's a long, I don't know if you've
Yeah.
ever played badminton, it's a long
Long
neck.
shaft, yeah. Not many overhand smashes in table tennis.
When
But
I'm
it's nice
playing
to have the
this,
reach, isn't it?
When
Have the
I'm
option.
playing, I'm like, get that bounce right up. Fuck you.
Boof. You're one of the only ping pong players that serve overhand, aren't you? You're known for your big serve,
Fuck you.
like Andy Roddick.
Yeah. And also, see if the ping pong ball hits the opponent before it touches the ground. That's my point.
That's your point.
So I'm just
and it's
whacking it off
pure
them.
sportsmanship, but it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. I'm winning every game. I'm going to the fucking Commonwealth Games still.
So you've been enjoying playing your ping pong.
Loving it.
What else you been up to?
Badminton.
What do you use for that?
A ping pong racket.
That seems like a fool's errand.
Because I always forget my racket at my ping pong class, so I always have to use a wee table tennis bat for badminton. So
It's kind of like Newton's laws of relativity there.
it balances itself
Yeah,
out.
the balance of the universe.
Yeah.
Lovely.
And
So you've been getting whooped at badminton, but you've been destroying at table tennis.
I've not won 1 point at badminton in my whole life. I've been playing for 13 years.
Wow. You can barely even get them over the net with
Nah.
your little paddle.
Every time under the net.
The idea, now we're talking about it, of like being on a badminton court and only having a table tennis paddle and playing with a table tennis ball and having to hit it, that fills me with dread and
That's
anxiety.
so hard. Like, have you ever tried to hit a shuttlecock with a fucking padded little tiny bat? And I'm not even playing with a regular sized pad. I'm playing with mini ping pong bats. Because I've got a mini table at home.
Right, practicing.
Yeah,
And then you leave it at home.
exactly.
It all checks out. Have you got a review for us this week, Roger?
I do actually. I do. Would you like to hear it?
I would love nothing more.
Okay, here we go. A wise man once said, keep your DVD player close and your copy of Godfather 2 even closer. The Godfather Part 2 is a very long film about the rise and fall of Michael Corleone. I was feeling a rise and fall in my stress levels watching this exciting romp. Al Pacino was splendid as the man himself. A performance so good, he had me creaming olive machinos. Robert De Niro plays a young Vito Corleone. He had me thinking, Cor, this is the only guy for this role. He made Marlon Brando look like Marlon Fando. Francis Ford Coppola
What?
created a fiesta Ford, with this directorial masterclass. He certainly deserves a Coppola Oscars after this. Couple of Oscars. Roger rates this certified Sicilian eggs. 70 eggs out of 72.
Wow, what a review, Roger. That was a
Thanks.
tour de force.
Thanks
if you don't
very
mind me
much.
saying. It was
Appreciate
like the Godfather Part 2 of reviews.
Which I thought was no bad.
Yeah, it was very good.
Thank you.
What are you up to this week? Where you got on?
I've got quite a big week on Stu, actually.
You got a big summer. I mean, because we I don't know if you're going to say this now, but we're taking a bit of a hiatus on the podcast.
Taking a break.
So it's a shame I'm not going to see you for a while, man. What are your big summer plans?
Well, you're actually taking a break. I don't know if Steve told you this. You're taking a break because I can't be here.
All
with
right.
us.
Well, without you, what's the point?
I'm no longer going to be with us. I'm heading to Switzerland.
To do what?
Oh, no, just moving there.
Just moving
Just
to Switzerland.
moving to Switzerland, yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah. It's
Um,
very sad, though, because I'll be actually...
euthanized while you're over there.
I didn't want to say it, Stu. I was dancing around it. You've made me say it. I'm going to get euthanized. I've got a rare blood disease called... Sha!
That sounds nasty. You
That's
don't want
what
to touch of that.
That's what the Swiss call it.
Right. And they've no choice but to take you to Switzerland to live there and then be euthanized.
Well, I'm hoping they'll find a cure when I'm out there.
I think they will.
Big
I
fan of
back
Roger
the scientists.
Federer.
What,
I was
two of the great Rogers.
I was named after him.
Were you?
Yeah, my middle name is Federer.
So your name's Roger Federer, expert.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you're kind of like the Federer of film criticism.
I'd like to
Classy
think so.
and just a winning machine.
Classy and an all-rounder.
Yeah, and beloved.
Beloved.
You should get a headband next season.
I'm gonna. If I'm still alive.
Well, that's a big cliffhanger ending for the band.
Well, I'll be back for next season. Let's find out.
You're going to have to tune in next time and, support the pod if you want to find out.
Absolutely.
Well, all the best in Switzerland, Roger. If I never see you again, can I shake your hand?
Yeah, I don't know if I've ever shook your hand, Stu, but you've got a nice firm grasp. Right.
Farewell, old friend.
Farewell. See you later,
See ya.
listeners. And if I don't see you through the week, listeners, I'll see you in Switzerland. All the best. Bye.
See you through the window of a Swiss euthanasia clinic.
There
Wow,
it goes.
fucking
There it
hell,
goes.
high drama.
Could be the last time we ever see it.
God, that's I'm laughing, but I'm sad.
I'm sad, very sad. It's
I'd
a
be very
moment.
sad if we never saw him again.
Yeah.
We should have told him what he means to us while he was here.
Nah, because then he might not go.
Yeah, because we think he's a wank.
Yeah, that might push him over the edge.
Shall we rate the film, Steve?
Yes, I'm going to give it 6.9. Below average.
Just below average.
0.1 below average.
Honestly, I do want one day to sit down and watch The Godfather and The Godfather Part 2 properly, because I've done them untold dirties. But I thought it was good. It's way too long. It's nuts.
Far too long.
And I've got problems with it, but it was good. I thought it was good. I'm going to give it 80% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Lovely. Put it there, son. Let's
Can I
go
shake
to...
your hand again?
Let's go to the outros.
See you in the outro.
Woohoo! Yeah.
Yeah.
I tried to do. I forgot what it
It's
sounds
very
like.
Tim Robinson. Yeah, that's slicked back real nice.
What the fuck? I
That's
have
what the
lots of
Godfather-
plastic meatballs.
Godfather Part 3. I've not seen the third one, obviously, but
Same.
so we've got.
I don't think we should do that for
No,
the
fuck
pod.
that. Vito dies, Michael takes over, and then in part 2, Michael rather gets even worse. And in part 3, it should be Michael reconciling with his past and going, I was a piece of shit though. And it should be all about holding a baby and how people can change.
I think that would be. I think I would watch that.
Yeah,
if
that
that
would be
was
great.
it. If listeners, if you've seen part 3 and you
Of I
know
Think
that's
You
what
Should Leave.
happens of that and part 3 of The Godfather, let us know if it's similar.
Yeah.
That was good, and that draws a close to
Proceedings for a little while.
a beautiful series, perfect series in many opinions. Mine and yours.
Yeah. Certainly in this room.
Yeah, that's right. We thought it was a great series. How can the people support us? I don't know if they should support us. Should they?
I think they should antagonise us and they should try and tear us down
I think so.
so that we don't have to do this ever again. Maybe this is the last ever, who knows?
Maybe.
But no, thank you for all your support in this series. You can
Thank
still share the clips and get us on Instagram at What's the Script _ and on Twitter. All the follows, shares, all that, telling your friends is really nice and really helps us. And we've got these 10 that are on YouTube now, and if you want to go through them or send them to people and say, listen, there's these 10 episodes here, they're fucking funny, watch them.
Yeah,
that would be nice.
that would be great.
Maybe in the meantime we can get more views without doing anything.
That would be ideal.
That would be ideal. And then next series we can go even bigger.
Yep. Get a better studio.
More people. Yeah. Leave
Bigger.
producer Mark in the fucking dust. He's not even here right now.
He's
Fuck
not
him.
even here. He can do
can
his
do
own
one.
thing. We'll be in like ITV with
Me, you
with
and-
the real Paddy.
Yeah, Rick Rubin will be producing it. Some like big, producer.
guy.
Yeah. So thank you for all your continued support throughout the series.
Thank you.
Don't sleep on us just because we're sleeping on you.
No.
Keep spreading the word.
Yeah, keep
It's all
sharing
good.
the love. We really appreciate it. We'll be back at some point in the next couple of months, probably.
Yeah, we'll freeze the Patreon for a bit,
Gonna
so you won't be
freeze that.
charged for that. After, are we doing one other one or not?
Yeah,
Another
we'll
production
do.
meeting.
We'll
One
do,
more
we'll,
and then we'll freeze
we'll
it.
do another Patreon episode. So you've got about another
And
few
then
weeks.
we were thinking, if there's interest, we might. If you don't want to subscribe, right now there's no point subscribing to the Patreon. Although I guess there's loads of old content.
There's
on
old content.
there. We
Fire
might
in.
start a little tip jar on Ko-fi. So if you didn't want to commit is the word, really, isn't it, Steve? That we're both
Commit.
saying at the same time.
Yeah.
It's the perfect word.
To
If you don't want to commit to
monthly
that, you can maybe chuck us
payments.
a $5 or something like that, just to say, cheers, lads.
Cheers, lads.
You put a lot of work in,
Appreciate
and I'll
it.
give Steve like 60% because he does more work.
Well, yeah, I wasn't gonna say, but that'd be nice.
And is that all, really?
That's all. That's all she wrote. It feels sad.
It does. I
And
don't
then
want
it
to
was-
leave him.
Don't
I want
want
to
to
keep
leave.
jabbering on.
But
Just peter out with worse and worse patter.
yeah,
Leave them on a real stinking note.
real horrible note. Like, actually, I don't think I want to.
Yeah, actually, I think we'll
Watch.
all just bid
Se-
adieu to this podcast.
Season 4, no thanks.
See you never.
See you never.
I like how erratic our seasons are. How many episodes are in each season? What season's this?
3.
So the first one was like, what, 35 episodes or something?
I believe it was the perfect 31. Season
then
2 was
what's that,
again was
72?
31, I believe, or 30.
Right.
It was similar,
And then 10.
this is now, yeah.
And then we might do like what, like Gavin and Stacey or whatever, do they come back for Christmas specials or something like that? Just do
Yeah, do the odd
once a year we watch White Christmas.
one. Might do a live one next year.
Maybe.
Who knows?
Let's just say the King's Theatre. I've
You
got
know,
it in there.
ever heard of the King's Theatre? Well, there's a little pub
We'll
across the road
crunch the
called the
numbers.
Griffin.
I think we'll make a good amount of money from that gig. Yeah. Is there anything else to say, Steve?
No.
Well, then we shouldn't.
Let's just shake hands and walk away. All the best.
Respect.
And I'm shaking hands with the listener right now. On this
I'm double handing the listeners.
This is the microphone. This is your hand. Thanks, guys. Appreciate
Thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed the episode. Sorry for doing the film dirty if you loved it. And that goes for every episode.
Yeah, of course.
We apologise and
And-
we thank you.
Hopefully next time you'll see me on an advert using my voices.
Yeah. That would be
Maybe.
great in the meantime.
Yeah.
Steve's the face of Jolly Bee. Right. Shall
Thanks,
we get out
guys.
of here?
All the best.
Take care. Have a nice summer.